I would say for me, it's been the tournaments. Being a person who's competitive, I've really enjoyed, they have these weekly tournaments. You sign up, you put in $20, so you're not losing that much money if you do lose. But I think the biggest part of that has been also in those tournaments meeting a lot of fun people, the people that you play against. And so, when I started, I usually would just come and practice, and just because I'm new to golf essentially. But when I said I'm just going to throw my hat in the ring, and you can have a handicap and you can play against some people, and then the competition was what drew me in. But I think what's bringing me back all the time is all the friends I've made through those tournaments. Because you see some of the similar people and you meet new people, and it's fun to you're in a bay and you're with them, for a good hour or so. Because it doesn't take long to play a tournament. It could be an hour or two, but it's something I look forward to. It's just kind of getting away from work and other responsibilities, and you can have your competitive edge. But the added bonus of meeting all these people has just been, to me, that's probably been my favorite, by far my favorite part of the whole deal. So now that my wife and our kids are essentially in college and beyond, it's been nice to be able to, now I feel like I can come more and not feel so guilty. As a father, you want to be with your kids all the time, but coming here now, and also the great thing about coming here is that you can come during your lunch hour, and it's allowed me to just play a round of golf in 45 minutes and be back in the office, and eat while I'm playing, versus, when I was outside with an outside club, you're talking about 3 hours, you're talking about worrying about the weather, you're talking about getting, dressed for that and all set up. Whereas here I can kind of walk in and maybe in my work clothes, like I'm dressed today, and just hit some balls and be in 72 degrees and be able to play. So I was a member of a golf course before, nothing wrong with that, just seems to suit my lifestyle better. And also I like the fact I don't have to chase the ball around as much. I want to play outside, but I can play all year round here and not have to worry about a long round. I get my swings in, get the practice in, get better at the game, and hopefully that'll translate to being outside when the weather gets better. Here, you're in a bay, so you're not like when you hit your ball and now you split up and everybody's kind of going in different directions, and maybe you converge on the green when you're putting. Whereas here, you're in the bay, you're with each other the whole time. You're not, like I said, you're not chasing the ball around. So yes, I do believe the atmosphere or the structure of this type of environment or indoor golf does lend itself to more community. And you see the same people, walking in here today and seeing Terrence, who I just met in January, and giving him a hug and saying, he's doing his interview or what have you. But, I've now met him in the past 2 months, and we were texting each other, or there's somebody else last night that I text from another friend that was at the hockey game, and I wouldn't have had those friendships, those texts, unless I, like I said, got involved. You get out what you put in too. You've got to show up, be a part of the events, and when you're a part of the events and put yourself out there, you'll meet some really fun people. But I think the atmosphere of being in a room, playing indoor golf for an hour or more, you're just going to meet people because you're sitting right next to them, and you're playing something. You have a similar interest in golf, but then that starts the whole process of that similar interest allows you to go into how's life, or how do they grow up, or what's their family situation, or what's their job, or what are their interests outside of just playing golf. So I think it does allow for that to happen versus maybe not. And again, haven't been part of an outdoor club much, but I just think it would lend itself. It just automatically how it's set up. Being new to golf, we have access to the club professionals, so if you want to get lessons, which I've taken advantage of as well. So kind of learning from the ground up. And also, it can be frustrating as a new golfer with your ball going in all different directions. Also, if you go to the driving range outside, you may not know how far your ball is going. You can try to guess it. But here with TrackMan, I can come in here and practice with all of the clubs. I can play all of the courses. And assess, and if you're a person who gets into all the data that goes with TrackMan, the spin rate and club face to path, all the things, and me being a person who probably likes that as well, all that technology, I now can kind of learn how far each of my clubs goes. What do I do if I do something different? Where am I hitting the ball on the face of the club? How's my swing coming through? And then when you have a club professional who can come watch that and tell you how the numbers work. And then you can take all that and play a course and get a handicap through TrackMan and see how you're progressing. Are you getting better or worse? And on your phone, you have all the data of how far you hit the ball. Am I improving or not? Or, you know, fairways hit. So all that data is just being calculated for you without lifting a finger, essentially, just typing your name in and logging in. So that to me as a new golfer has been exciting. Again, I think it's also, you can come in here and play a tournament and not feel embarrassed that you're holding somebody up. You know, when you're new to golf and you're looking for your ball somewhere else or you're not hitting it as far, you can probably be intimidated by that. But if I can come here and play with also more experienced people who can also teach you as well, not only the club professionals, but the people you play with, also do a good job of helping you and saying, hey, here's some things you might want to think about. Or when you're approaching this hole, here's what I'm going to do, you know, with it. And so I've really been able, and again, I think we really got started about 4 or 5 months ago, my wife and I've kind of really gone down this rabbit hole per se of just the data and how it looks and learning. And, you know, just before this interview, you know, sitting with a club professional before in the waiting room and just talking to him about, hey, you know, what does this mean? Like, what is the slope rating? What's all this data mean? And he pops up on the screen and shows me, you know, I'm learning more and more as we kind of dive into TrackMan and all the things it can do for you. It's a community here. You know, we talked about knowing the members and I talked about knowing the pros, but I really think the backbone are the people that take care of you, whether you know, when you walk in, you know, what can I get you if you're eating or not? Sometimes I just come in here, I'm just gonna hit and just drink water, you know, and there's days I have time for lunch. They're always looking out for you. They're always making sure, are you okay? You got everything you need? And I really do think they're the serving staff and the kitchen, those are the folks that really give it that added bonus. I mean, there's golf is golf, and indoor golf is indoor golf, and golf pros are all awesome and they're great. But I think the service level of the people that are always checking in on you, you know, sitting, and they'll sit down with you at times and say, hey, just to talk. I mean, I know them and what's going on in their family, and they'll sit and talk to you, and they want to get to know you, and we have a good time with them too. We walk in here and it's almost like that old TV show Cheers. When you walk in, if you come here enough, they're going to know who you are, you know, and they seem to get that really quick. It doesn't take long before they know who you are and get to know you. So you always feel welcome coming in here. We have there was a wine event in the fall where they did like a Ryder Cup where they compared the American wines to the European wines, I believe. If I remember what happened, we've been to the Christmas party. It's kind of cool that when she goes to the women's event, I always look forward to it being at the same time as one of the tournaments. So I'm happy that she's, you know, we're here together. She's with the women and having her time. I'm playing the tournament, which is kind of my thing, where she's not a super competitive person, doesn't want to play in those, where I'm like, oh, this is what fuels me. So yeah, I think just kind of participating in those, you know, when they have those things. I think next week we're going to have the state of the club, you know, how it's all going. We are using this place so much that we're invested in it. It's like a little bit of it is a sanctuary. I mean, truly it's a way to get away from, you know, work or home and come somewhere and have some fun for a period of time and then get back to it. You know, so, and meeting those people has also been awesome. Like you'll play with somebody and say, oh, I saw you at the Christmas party, or I thought I saw you here, you know. And I know my wife is now on a text string with the other ladies that she sees, and they've already got their own text string going. So, you know, she's built some friendships here, amongst all the other friendships we have outside of here, but it's like, this has just been an added bonus. I would say to someone who's interested in golf, or new to golf, who wants to try golf, this is probably where you want to start, and get to know golf and get to play golf. And then once you kind of get up and rolling, you know, the great thing about golf I've learned in my short time playing it is you can play against people. The whole deal of handicaps allows you to play with really experienced golfers, you know, from experienced to average to brand new like myself. It allows you to play against them and be on an equal footing. So if you're a competitive person and likes the competition. I mean, I look forward to Wednesdays. I look forward to the Saturday morning tournaments. I look forward to the other calendars. If I can make it happen, I want to play. So if you're a competitive person, learning golf, new to golf, experienced at golf, and want to be able to play all year round, and then the offshoot of that, probably the most important thing is if you're passionate about that and then you get the added bonus of making new friends that are good people. I mean, you can't beat it. And I see myself playing this, like, for me, I always told my wife, I wanted to play golf when I retired because I wanted to get better at something as I get older. And she jumped in, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not retired yet. But when she jumped in, I jumped in, and it's been, I mean, it's something you can also play for a long time. It's not just a young person's sport only. They've always said golf is something you can